We still have to wait a few months for Amphibia Season 3, but in the meantime, we can discuss all kinds of predictions and questions regarding the plot of Amphibia's final act. Will Anne go to school again? Yeah, I definitely think she'll return to school in Season 3. The new intro made it clear that the planters and Anne will stay on Earth for a while, and the big invasion is also not going to happen anytime soon. Of course, Anne's mind is occupied with more important stuff at the moment, but she's finally home after all this time. She deserves to return to normality, at least for a short time. I sure hope it doesn't turn into a terrible experience for her, since she's the only one who returns, while Marcy and Sasha remain missing. How will the prophecy come into play in Season 3? Judging from how things are standing currently, it seems the prophecy won't become reality. Let's recall what we know about the prophecy so far and discuss what the chances are that it's still happening. Firstly, there's the stone carving from the intro that can also be seen in the first temple. 3 girls are fighting the beast. Secondly, there's the poem from Andrea's book, 3 stars coming to expel the night. The 3 stars are either the girls or the gems. The knight is probably a symbol for the ultimate evil, that is the beast. Thirdly, Andreas reported to his master that the girls are recharging the box, thus giving up their powers, what according to his words is undoing the prophecy. Summed up, to fulfill the prophecy, 3 people carrying 3 powers are needed. Currently, one of the 3 required people is on Earth, and another is half dead in the hands of the enemy. On top of that, only Anne still possesses her powers. Put shortly, none of the requirements are met, and it's more likely than not that the prophecy the way we laid it out won't come to be. It goes without saying though that there would have been no point in hyping up the prophecy if it simply wouldn't show up again in Season 3, meaning there are 2 possible scenarios. Scenario A, the prophecy will become reality because Season 3's events change the whole situation so that the requirements are met. Scenario B, the prophecy will become reality because it differs from what we just summarized. Scenario A is mostly built on the fact that we simply don't know much about Season 3's plot, especially about what's going down in Amphibia. Considering how overpowered Andreas is, I find it hard believing Sasha succeeds in freeing Marcy and retrieving the box. And even if she did, they'd have little idea how to reconnect with the gemstones. To be honest, Scenario A is in fact not that likely, but we can't say for sure that it's impossible. After all, we don't even know why the Calamity Box malfunctioned in Season 1. Accordingly, whenever Andreas utilizes the box, it could break down again, thereby releasing its powers. However, since Marcy the genius repaired the box, we can assume it's working properly from now on, meaning Scenario B would be correct. In what way does the actual prophecy differ from our expectations? Well, although the clues on hand heavily imply that all Calamity powers are needed to defeat the beast, there is no confirmation for this. Neither the stone carving nor the poem include the powers, and Andreas could simply be wrong about them being necessary, since there's also no guarantee that he knows exactly what the prophecy predicts. So the prophecy can be fulfilled with just the 3 girls being present and Anne's power alone. That being said, for the prophecy to come true, Anne, Marcy and Sasha need to reunite. At the latest, they will during the final battle. Either the planters return to Amphibia or Andreas brings the battle to Earth, as suggested in the Season 3 intro. Should he indeed carry out an actual invasion, he'll be sending his whole army to Earth, meaning the portal will stay open for quite a while, giving Sasha and possibly Marcy a chance to slip through. Yet, is there even any sense in having Marcy and Sasha join Anne in fighting the beast? Without superpowers, won't they just stand in Anne's way? Taking this question into consideration, I get the feeling the poem is not to be taken literally. A minute ago, we established the knight refers to the beast, but the term is also a symbol for hard times. The 3 girls girls have been facing the hardest times of their lives. Particularly their friendship has been going through its darkest hour. In that sense, the night could be banned if the girls make up. In the end, only Anne will be facing the beast in battle, but she'll have the power of friendship on her side. Fundamentally, when the girls reconcile, Anne carries all those emotions that embody the beasts, the night's complete opposite. That's how, symbolically, 3 Stars Light expels the night's darkness. Will Anne have a boyfriend in Season 3? Let me answer this question with an image. When do I think is Amphibia Season 3 coming? Hopefully we will get an official announcement on that matter soon, but I'm guessing the earliest would be early 2022 and the latest would be mid 2022. Season 1 ended in July 2019 and a whole year went by until Season 2A started in July 2020. Matt stated that he's trying to keep the wait for Season 3 shorter than for Season 2, so it should be reasonable to assume Season 3 is coming somewhere between April and July 2022. How would the US defend herself from an invasion by Andreas? If the portal did not teleport Andreas' army to Los Angeles, the answer to this question would be quite easy: nukes. But since civilians are around, the situation is entirely different. The decisive factor is whether the government is prepared or not. Does Anne inform authorities of a coming invasion, and do they believe her? If they do, I think defense won't be troublesome. Admittedly, we don't know how Andreas' weapons work, but I'm sure regular missiles and explosives should be effective means of destroying the robots and the castle. If no preparations are made at the invasion's beginning, the civilians stand no chance against Andreas' forces. Ultimately, the military will be arriving though. Helicopters, tanks, T-Rexes. You know, the kind of stuff that chases you when you reach 5 stars in GTA. Can Earth turn the situation around and invade Amphibia? Under the condition that humanity gets a hold of the Calamity Box, this is a real possibility. Although I'm not sure invasion is the right term, since I think the primary goal would be to establish good relations to other worlds instead of taking control of them. I like to imagine Earth would be Amphibia's first otherworldly allied planet, undertaking interworldly trade and tourism, etc. Besides, I think Andreas would not risk Amphibia being invaded. He would rather cancel his own invasion, leave everyone behind and escape to safety with the Calamity Box, because he knows his plans turn to dust without it. What could the other Calamity powers do? Let's answer this question in orientation on Anne's powers. She inherited the Heartstone's power. In 2 colors, she gains superhuman strength and speed, and the ability to fly. Assuming the physical enhancement is a given that each stone grants its wielder, being able to fly would be unique to the Heartstone. Maybe because a person's heart and emotions are the part of humanity that allow ultimate freedom, which is symbolized by flying. In that case, the Witstone would endow Marcy with superhuman strength and an ability like mind reading or telepathy, an ability that allows the wielder to act more strategically in battle. The Strength Stone would endow Sasha with even more combat power and the ability to create force fields, for example, because being strong also means being able to endure. Or as Spider-Man's Uncle Ben would say, with great power comes great responsibility. The strong are meant to defend the weak. Drop a comment if you have more questions about Amphibia and make sure to subscribe for regular Amphibia content. See you next time.